as we speak. Welcome everyone to the study group for today. We are covering the Agentblazer Champion Challenge. Now, it is much longer than this session is going to allow for, but what I'm going to do is get you started and jump right into the hands-on challenges that are part of the Agentblazer Champion Challenge, the champion level. Okay, so I'm going to go off camera. I was getting a notification that my connection was weak, so I'm going to go off camera. But we are going to get rolling here on our challenge that we have for the Agentblazer. So very cool stuff here. So as always, as we always say, code of conduct, behave. That's all I'm going to ask there. A little bit about me. I do have a book that just got released. Oh my gosh, so excited. Pooja and I wrote a book on building integrations with MuleSoft. Integration Quest is mentioned in that as a hats off to all the contributions there. And so if you're interested, it should be in print soon, but it is available out there. So just wanted to give a shout out to Pooja and our work involving that. It's a lot of work to write a book. Integration Quest, we customize your education and we do study groups like this. And the study group today is to do the challenge. Now there's 3 levels of this challenge. The first one is the champion, and that's where you're going to start. And I have to say, honestly, it's very well documented and it is very streamlined. And we're going to, like I said, get hands-on, create an agent. It's going to be live, so you never know what's going to happen when we're live. That's where the fun begins. Then after you complete the Agentblazer Champion, the next level is Innovator. Now, I've already achieved this. Oh, let me go back on camera because I just got to show you. If you're at any of the events, you can pick up a pin. So this is the Innovator pin. I have achieved that one, but I do happen to have a Challenger pin also, or Champion pin. So, I can get you one if you, those of you that achieve the champion, I will do my best to get you a champion pin. Okay, I'll do my best. I've got some, but I have to also take into consideration that I may have to get more. So anyway, we're going to jump in here and do this challenge. So let me take the slide presentation down. We don't need that. Here's what we need. I'm going to put this in the chat for you. This is the URL. So you do need to have a account with Trailblazer, not Trailblazer, Trailhead Academy. So this is in the Trailheads for this challenge. And again, you can see now this one is a account that I'm going to use for today because I want it to look very much like what you're going to experience. But this is my actual Trailhead account. And this is what it looks like when you have achieved them. And we're waiting to have them release the legend level. This has not been released yet. Okay, for those of you just getting started, it's going to look like this account here. So everyone ready? Go ahead and put in the chat. I am ready. Are you ready? Let me know in the chat. We don't have any, normally when I'm teaching is like, give me a green check. We don't have the green checks. Finn is ready. Awesome. Who else is ready? Give me an I am ready. Hands on keyboard. All right, come on, put them in there in the chat. That's great. So to get logged in, or if you don't have an account, go ahead and create an account. The URL is in the chat, and we're going to go ahead and under the champion level 1, we're going to go ahead and click on Get Started. Okay, so click on Get Started. We're going to move forward on this, and it brings you to the trails involved in this challenge. Okay. So yours will probably look like this. I had expanded these. So, okay, so it's going to look like this and become a Trailblazer Champion Trail. Now, it will track your progress as you go through, and there's going to be points that you're going to achieve, and it will advance your status in the Trailblazer community, okay, in Trailhead. So as we are coming down the line here, we'll open up Get Started with Artificial Intelligence Basics. So go ahead and open that one up and look at the details here. Now, we are not going to be walking through each of these in this study group because this is like self-study. But I also took a Harvard University course as well as a advanced prompting course through, I believe it was North Carolina University. And after I took those courses and I came in and did this challenge, I was very impressed with the modules in here, because a lot of the details that you're going to learn in here were some of the pivotal objectives from college level courses. So I do encourage you to go through this. It's read through, study through, and then answer the questions. And you're going to advance through each of these steps of this module, okay, of these learning objectives. So you will do these on your own, okay? I'm not going to hold your hand and go through all of this. So you can go through each one of these. Like I said, neural networks, that was one of the objectives in the that we studied deeply in the Harvard course. So I'm like, wow, this is pretty good, really good, advanced stuff that's in the trails on our Trailhead Academy. So anyway, be sure to go through all of this. It's very informative. I want you to memorize this computation here. Not really. You don't have to memorize. But anyway, it's pretty detailed. The nerd in me came out. The mathematician came out in me. I was like, yeah, this is good stuff. Okay. So anyway, go through and achieve each of these. You're going to get points along the way, and you'll advance as you go through. All right. So I do want you to be sure that you do each of these. So that's the Get Started with Artificial Intelligence Basics. And then you're going to go into Explore AI. Okay, data fundamentals for AI, data AI and CRM, prompt fundamentals, prompt builder basics. So again, some of these, even in these categories, you'll get to know prompt builder as you go through and learn the importance of a prompt and, how it does extract and get the information that is needed. And then build a field generation prompt template. Okay, now this is where we actually, let me see if it's this one that we're starting in. I don't think that it is. Let me see. Yeah, this one is kind of, a look and do if you would like, but we will go ahead and start. We are starting in this segment. So let me bring us back up. Under the prompt builder basics, okay, so this is in the category, so from the high level here, under the Explore Salesforce AI, we're going to go into the prompt fundamentals, prompt builder basics. The others are kind of like educational, learn about how to do things. But in the prompt builder basics, we're going to start here, because this is where we actually begin with some of the hands-on. All right. So in the Get to Know Prompt Builder, this is where we will look at some of the details of prompting. Okay. And this, again, is going to be a quick quiz. So you can, again, do that one on your own. The one we want to go into is to create and ground prompt templates. Okay. So in this one particularly, I'll give you the URL where I'm starting, because this is, yeah. I think this is where I wanted to have you start in the, no, this is not the one I wanted to start at. Sorry, guys. Back it up. This is a self-study thing too. There's one that it actually tests us for our, that shows the playground. So yeah, these are ones you can do later. And it's not testing the playground. Yeah. Okay. So no, this is not it. Let me go back up. I think it was actually when we get into the agent part where I wanted to start. Okay, so so these again will be self-study, and I think I'm just going to jump down to the, we'll look at the Meet Agentforce intro to Agentforce, intro to Agent Builder, intro to service, and then quick look. Now, here's where I wanted to begin. Okay, I'm where I need to be. Get hands-on. This is where we wanted to start, is the get hands-on with Agentforce. So the first one is to be a part of the Agentforce community, okay, or Agentblazer community. So you can do that and then mark it as complete. But we're going to go ahead and do build a service agent with Agentforce. So this is where we're going to get started. All right. So configure Agentforce for service is going to require you to have a Salesforce org that's a playground. All right. So we want to notice it says this badge requires a new custom Agentforce playground. So we're going to click on I can receive a password reset at the email that's listed here. So let's go ahead and click on that, and then we're going to create a playground that we're going to use. And this is important to use one of the playgrounds associated with this challenge, because at the end, when we're finished, it's going to check your work against it'll actually, online check your work to make sure that you did the challenge as you were supposed to. So there's a verify step at the end, and that's where it's going to verify your playground, the playground that you're currently using. So even though you may have a jillion other Salesforce orgs or like myself, let's go ahead and click create playground. Okay, and it's saying we'll send a password reset email to the email that was used here. And watch that email. Let me grab this, watch this email. And it's creating our playground for us that we will use for this challenge. Okay. And we'll see how long this challenge is going to, or I should say, see how long the Salesforce org is going to be available. And now I'm seeing this link that says, here is your username. So first of all, when you get this email, you want to save that email or the username here. Okay. So get a notepad open. Get a notepad open and start saving the username. You can save the org name too. Sometimes that helps. So the org name will come up in the first part of this URL. We can get the org name in a minute. Go ahead and click on the longer URL in that email. And we're going to reset the password. And the org is at the top. So if you want to copy that org URL, that's your org name at the top there. So all of these are going to be unique. So if you want to copy that also, kind of a good idea. And then go ahead and put a password in here. Confirm it. And then put what city you were born in, or any of the other security questions. And whatever you want to put there, you can put whatever security questions you want. And then change your password. Right? And once you have done that, you are inside of your org. And now notice we have the Coral Cloud Resort. Okay. So you should end up seeing the Coral Cloud Resort. Go ahead before we go forward, save that password, or at least some kind of a hint in your notes of what it is. That way you'll have that information. All right. Let me put this in a good place, and then we shall proceed. All right. Rolling right ahead. Okay, so we have our org, and now we need to connect our playground. Okay, so go ahead and click on Connect Playground. And now it's asking you to log into that new playground. So we want to go ahead so that it acknowledges it here. Use your username and password that you just created. And it should populate. Notice at the top, it should automatically populate your new org ID that we just copied, or the URL for it, the hosting for it. So let's paste in our username and password, because this is part of what links it for confirming you did the challenge. Okay. Sometimes people have a problem with it not acknowledging what they did. So be sure that you go ahead and you'll see that host name up here. All right, so click login. All right, save. Now you're getting, do you want to allow access for the Trailhead Connected app? And we do want to allow this. Yes, we do. Okay. Again, that's going to be part of it confirming and verifying what you have done. Want to connect this for hands-on challenges? Yes, save it. Yes, save it. Okay, so click both of those. And now you can see, goodness, okay, it's got this one is not like the new Salesforce orgs that are out there that don't expire. This one does expire, but it's pre-set up for our Agentblazer with the Coral Cloud details. Okay, so we do want to make sure that you complete this challenge by the 17th. Okay, so you got some homework here. All right, your Agentforce Playground is ready. Go ahead and click on Launch. And again, this should bring you right into it. You shouldn't have to log in. Close any other browser windows that you might have open, so that any work that's done is going to be acknowledged inside this, and it's connected and launched together with the challenge here. All right. Let me know you're good to go. Give me a message in the chat. Got it. Got it. Okay, if you need any help, let me know. We can troubleshoot a little bit there too. But it's all about getting this particular Salesforce org that's ready with Coral Cloud Resorts piped in, or I should say integrated, and we're ready to go. All right, so moving right along, it tells us, what we're going to do. We're going to create a service agent. We're going to go through the steps, and this is what we're doing today. This is what the workshop is going to be centered around. And then we also are going to see that, Coral Cloud Resorts is using Agentforce. They're, top-notch customer service. Many of us have already worked with some of the agents anyway, but this one is going to be the service, Agentforce for service focus. Okay. So as we go through this step by step, I'm going to guide you through. So you have instructions. I have instructions. I'm going to walk through. I'm going to bring the instructions over to the side for right now, but you can follow along, or those of you, if you're watching the recording later, you've got the instructions, but I'm going to show you here how to do hands-on. All right. So in the upper right, there's a setup icon. We're going to click that setup icon and go to setup. The first thing we need to do is we need to enable Einstein, and we need to enable the Agentforce agents. Okay. So it's very easy to do. Over here in the quick find on the left, we're going to type in Einstein setup. Of course, you're going to get some pop-ups. Go ahead and close that down. Einstein setup. Einstein setup. Okay. And once you click on Einstein setup, then we're going to see a toggle at the top up here to turn Einstein on. Okay. Once we've turned that on, then we also have all of the other features acknowledged in here. I don't think they tell us to do the prompt builder, but we can turn it on. It doesn't hurt. And if you wanted to play around later with the prompt templates that you can create, because those are going to be part of some of the other features that you will do in the next challenge. Okay. And also, if you wanted to, in that one I was starting with first, that I showed you at first, that was using Prompt Builder, if you want to do some practice on that, you could use this org to do that. Okay. All right. So let's refresh our screen so that everything has been populated. And the next thing we're going to look for in the quick find is Agentforce agents. Okay. So if you just start typing agents, you should see Agentforce agents. Okay, Agentforce agents. And once we're here, we need to go ahead and do the toggle and turn this one on as well. Upper right, go ahead and just slide that across. Now what you're going to see is we've got some agents already here. Okay, we've got some agents already here. So that's pretty cool that they already have some built for us. You could create a new agent. That's to come in future challenges. But for this one, we've got agents to work with already. But before we can go further, we also need to go ahead and give the Einstein agent user permissions. Okay. So in the upper left here, in our quick find, we're going to go to users. Okay. And click on users. And in the list of the users, we should see Einstein Service Agent. Einstein Service Agent. Okay. And to the left of that, we want to go ahead and click on Edit. So to the left of Einstein Service Agent user, click on Edit. All right. And we want to update this profile. On the right-hand side, there's an Einstein Agent user. This one says custom Einstein Agent user, but we want to update this to Einstein Agent user. Okay, Einstein Agent user. All right, and then we want to save it. So the only thing we did here was update the Einstein Agent user and save. All righty, so that is good. That is good. Now our next thing we need to do is we need to publish the Experience Cloud site, okay, because we want to be interacting and using that as well. So in the upper left, in the quick find, I want you to type in all sites. So a lot of this is just getting things set up at first. So when you click on all sites, we're going to go to Builder under the Coral Cloud site. Okay, so here's our Coral Cloud site, and we're going to open up the Builder here. Okay, open up the Builder. And in this, we're going to go ahead and publish. Okay, once this opens. And we'll say okay to this. It's just telling us of the new things. And this is opening up the Coral Cloud site. In the upper right, we're just going to go ahead and publish. Okay, so it's bringing in the Coral Cloud Resort website. Click on publish in the upper right. And again, publish here on the pop-up. Okay, and it's going through the process here. And then we're going to have another, there we go, got it. Go ahead and click on got it. And then in the upper left, you're going to see the Experience Builder menu. Experience Builder menu. So when we click on that, we're going to come down to Salesforce Setup. Salesforce Setup. All right. And this is just bringing us back to Salesforce Setup. There we go. All right. And then we can go ahead and refresh this. We're done here, basically. We're done. Okay. So very good. We can close this tab if you'd like. That's fine. And this tab. And we're back to our sites here. We can refresh this. Again, one thing I have found is refreshing is your friend in Salesforce when you've made changes. Okay, so we're going to go to Agentforce in the quick find. Position your cursor there and let's go back to Agentforce agents. Agentforce agents. Okay, so you should be seeing Agentforce agents. And we're about to create our very first agent. But I must apologize. I need to step away for 2 minutes. I will be right back. Quick break. I'll be right back. All righty, folks. I am back. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started now to create an agent. And there are some here by default, but we are going to create a new agent. Okay, so upper right, let's click on New Agent. New Agent. And for the type of agent that we want, we're going to do a Agentforce service agent. Okay, so Agentforce service agent right here. And we'll go to next. All right, now when we create our own agent, we have got to provide a lot of details here for it. Okay, so we're going to, does it want us to choose? Okay, yeah, we're not going to choose any topics here, although there are topics that we're going to see come in here by default. Okay, so we're just going to leave this as it is. So these are the topics. We've got case management is already added, account management, reservation management. Look at all the things that these are topics. Now, these topics can be found in the asset library, okay, the agent library. So these are topics that are already included. So you can look and see what each of these are, all right? Anyway, let's go to next. So we're not going to do anything with that. We'll go to next. And now we need to customize our agent. Now we need to provide the details for our agent, like its name, the API name, its description. So in your instructions, you have the name. So just really, we're just going to copy and paste this over. Okay. So go ahead and let's work on this together. So we'll copy its name, the API name, all this good stuff. Okay. Just if you copy it, make sure that there's no spaces on the left of it, okay? And then again, for its API name, so just go down this list and paste it in, okay? And so if you're creating a new agent for a customer, then this is where you would describe and put all of the details of what this agent's description is, its role. Okay, so in its role, we are telling it, in our case, that you are a customer service representative helping our guests make reservations, update bookings, and navigate all that Coral Cloud Resorts has to offer. So you're giving this agent a role. Okay, you're giving it a role. Next is the company. All right, so now we're telling it about the company. Coral Cloud Resorts has exceptional destination activities, unforgettable experiences, and reservation services. Woo-woo, sounds like a good place to go. All backed by a commitment to top-notch customer service. Okay, so this again is providing, and you can mouse over the informational buttons here to see what each of these means and how it is actually being used. So for the agent user, okay, we're going to actually, in the agent user, we're going to add, instead of, we're not going to use a new agent, we're going to click on the square or the X at the far right. We're not going to use what's there. We want to use the Einstein Service Agent User. Okay, the Einstein Service Agent User. Be sure to select that. All right, and then we do want to enable this, keep a record of the conversations, and with enhanced event logs to review agent behavior. We do want to enable that. So quick review, we got the data, the information from our instructions. For everything we have listed here, we chose the Einstein Service Agent User, and we also said to enable our conversations, save those conversations. Okay, so now we're ready to go to next. Next. All right. So I do believe everything is good here. We are ready to click on create. Okay. For this one, we're not using Data Cloud. If we were, it would be one of the options in which we could get data as well, but we're not using Data Cloud on this one. So upper right, we're going to click on create. I will tell you, you will use Data Cloud on future challenges. Okay. So click on create in the upper right. So it's creating our agent. Now it says, let's go. We can go ahead and click on let's go. Okay, and remember those topics that were automatically added on the left? And what we want to do is we're going to remove some of these topics. So when I was telling you that these topics were in the library watch, if you go to new in the upper right from the asset library, this is where all of these assets are listed. Sometimes you'll see a more comprehensive, longer list. All right, but they want us to remove some of these. Let's see which one. Next to the account management, do the drop down, and we're going to remove this one from the agent. And we're going to remove all of the included topics except for the general frequently asked questions. All right, so we're going to go through and remove the rest of them and leave general frequently asked questions. Leave that one. So right on the right, we're going to remove delivery issues, remove escalation, remove order inquiries, remove reservation, remove, and customer service verification, remove. So the only one they wanted us to leave, remove all of the included except. Okay, so that's the only remaining one. We should be good. All right. So now we're going to create our own new topic. Our own new topic. So here where it says new, click that new and add a new topic. Okay. Add a new topic. So now you're going to see some of the details here. So let's see. All right, what do you want this topic to do? And they're not saying what this topic is going to do, because actually, let me check something here real quick. Yeah. Okay, so here we're going to leave this optional and do nothing. The instructions don't say anything on this other than next. So this is an optional thing. You can describe what you want the topic to perform. We'll go to next in this case, according to the instructions. And now we're ready to copy and paste again the details that we have under step number 2, topic label, classification description, and the scope. Again, this is very important when we're talking about what we are going to allow the agent to do or not to do, especially when it comes down to these instructions. So as we're copying and pasting these instructions, I want you to pay close attention to what we are allowing this agent to do or not to do. Okay. So in the name of it, so let's grab the experience, the name here. So that's going first. All right. Then it should, if you click out of the box of the name, it should auto-populate over there in the API name for you. Classification description, that's next. And the scope. Okay. And the scope. So when I talk about, the security measures regarding agents and how the guardrails are set up, the scope, this is where you are placing that information. The description is basically just saying this is what it's going to do. The scope is, again, narrowing it down. It's going to assist users in navigating, managing bookings, etc. So now in the instruction category, this is the list of do's and don'ts. Okay, so for the first instruction is, if the customer would like more information, you should run the action get experience details. So that is an action that's going to be associated with this. And always ensure you know the customer before running this action. See, it's explicit instructions. Let's add another instruction. If the customer is not known, you must always ask for their email address and their membership number. So it's both email and membership number to get their contact record by running the get customer detail action. Again, do you see how it's actually, we're telling it, it's like a child, you're telling it what to do. Let's add the third instruction. Okay. Whenever a date is provided, convert this date to a particular format. Ensure that it's not past that time. Okay, it must be something in the future. Well, that makes sense. All right, our fourth instruction here. Fourth instruction. And also, by the way, these are great examples to use when you are writing your own instructions for your agents. I would save these because this is really helpful. Okay, if asked to get sessions for the experience, use the get sessions. Ask for the date. Use the ID of the experience. So there's all kind of instructions there. Okay. Next one, if asked to book the action, use the action create booking. Okay. And you're going to have some fields here that are required. Okay, so you can, again, get a feel for how we are being very detailed. And the sixth one is asked to recommend experience that a user might be interested. Oh, if asked to recommend experiences, then you're also going to use the generate personalized schedule action, okay, for their interests. All right, so we should have 6 instructions here. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we should have 6 instructions that coincide with our instructions here. And we're ready to click on next. All right. So now it's asking, okay, now that you have your instructions, then what actions are going to be added? Okay. We will be adding some custom actions. So we're going to skip any of these standard actions, but these are some standard actions that are available. We are going to be writing our own custom actions ourselves. Okay, so we're not going to add any right now. However, you could, and you can see some of these actions that are here. Okay, so we're ready to click on finish. So you're not selecting anything here. So we're not going to select anything. All right, so click on finish. Okay, and now there you have, well, this is okay. You might get this overlap. You know, we can click on ignore here. Otherwise, look, instead of ignore, compare topics. And you can see the similarity. You can see that there might be some, things that you might want to review here. We'll click on cancel, okay? And we're going to ignore that for right now. But just so you know what that is, it's kind of like a double check. Look how similar these are. All right. So now we're going to click on the experience management topic here. Go ahead and click on that. That's the new one we just created. And then we're going to see an area at the top up here. So this is everything we just added on the left, but now there is the actions. And remember, we wanted to create a custom action, right? So to create the custom action, we're going to select new here. We're going to select new. And we're going to see that we can either add from an asset library. We can do different things there. But in our case, we're going to create a new action, a new action. So we have our topics. Now we have our action. Okay. And for this action, there is a certain type of action. There's different things that these actions can do. So when we do the drop down here, in our case, we're going to say we want to select a flow action type, a flow. Okay, flow. And then drop down below is saying, okay, what reference action do you want? And if you click on that, you can come in here and see the different flows that are available. Okay, in our case, we want to use the get experience details. Get experience details. If we were to go over into flows in this org, you would find that flow. That is a flow that's been created in Salesforce to get the experience details. So let's go ahead and click on that. Okay. And then as we come down, get experience details, that's fine. We're good here. That's all we're doing. So we selected the flow action type and we're referencing the get experience details and we're ready to go to next. Okay, now in the area down below, we're going to come down here. And there is show loading text for this action right here. Show loading text for this action. We're going to uncheck that. Okay. And then we have an input and an output section. Input and output. And any of you that have seen the presentation or the workshop that we're doing with OAS, these are some of the fields in the OAS that automatically get populated. We're doing all of this manual, including the topic, right? So now this is in the action category. So in this area for the experience name, notice this is the experience name. This one is a require input. Okay, require input. We want to check that. Okay. And then for the experience record on the far right, we want to select show in conversation. Okay, so the two things we're doing, well, three things we're doing on this pop-up is number one, unselecting the show loading text for this action. Number two, require the input. And number three, show in conversation for the output. Okay, and now we're ready to click on finish. Okay, so now we should have an action listed there. Get experience details. Get experience details. So again, these are the actions that this topic will support. Okay, we're ready to add another one. Add another action. New. Create new action. Okay, create another new action. This one's going to be another flow. Okay. Select flow. Referenced action on this one is get customer details. Get customer details. Again, reference action type is flow. Reference action is get customer details. And we're ready to move to next. Okay, in the next area here, once again, we're going to unselect this for show loading text for this action. And then the input. In the input category, is to require input under, let me make sure I'm doing the right one, for the member number. Okay, so there's member number, require input. Under the email, we're not doing anything with the email. It's interesting, it's not making us require that input for the email. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, my bad. Yes, we're requiring input for email. I skipped over that one. Okay, yeah, require input for the email. Remember that in the instructions we said require, make sure that they have the member number and the email. Okay, so it's required input for both. That makes sense, doesn't it? Require input for email, require input for member number, and then for the output, we want to show that in the conversation. Show in conversation. All right, so this one is good. On this tab or on this pop-up, we did the loading text for this action. Both of these were selected for input for the email and the member number, and then also our contact output is show in conversation, and we shall click on finish. All right, so we'll have 2 actions over here. All right, let's add a third one. New, create action. Type is flow. Reference action on this one is get sessions. Get sessions. Okay, everything else is good. Again, quick thing, review. Reference action type is flow. Get sessions is a reference action. And we shall go to next. Unselect, show the text for this action. Require input. 4, experience ID. And the start date. Okay, so we want to click on input for both of these and show in conversation for the output. Again, all we did is unselect this for the loading text for this action. Input, require input for both of these values for our input and show in conversation. And we shall click on finish. And it's adding our third action over here. All right, rolling right along. Now we're going to add an action again, a fourth one. This one is going to generate a personalized schedule. New, create new action. And for this one, instead of what we have done so far, we're going to use a prompt template. Okay, a prompt template. Referenced action is going to be generate personalized schedule. Okay, so that is a template, by the way. Generate personalized schedule. All right, moving right along. So review on this tab or on this pop-up, reference action type is prompt. We're using a prompt template, and then it is specifically the generate personalized schedule. Click on next. All right, now we need to fill this out. Okay, we're going to have our information here that we're going to use to put in the places of the action, the label, the instructions, the input instructions, and everything that is needed here. Okay, so for the agent action instructions, go ahead and copy that block of text. And what it says is to create a personalized schedule that includes the time and location of resort experiences that are available today and match the guest's interests. Okay, so we're going to uncheck the show loading text for this action. And we're going to come down to the input instructions and copy that next block of code. And this is going to have where we say contact for which the personalized schedule should be generated must be a valid JSON representing the contact information chain from having executed the get customer details action. Okay, so we have the information there. It is required input. And let's see, contacts, input instructions, and citation mode. We are not doing anything with citation mode, so we shall not select anything there. Okay, and then show in conversation on the right for the output. We want our prompt response output to be shown in conversation. We are not doing anything with citations. I don't even know what citations are. Apex class type, that I don't know what that is. So we're not going to do anything with it. We're not supposed to. It's not in our instructions. So we shall leave it there. Let's click on finish. So again, review real quick. We added the text here that we have in our instructions for the agent action instructions. We unselected this. We gave it instructions for the input, and we gave, we are in for the output show in conversation, and we're only using in the input contact and the output prompt results or prompt response, sorry, and click finish. All right, so that one is done. We should now have 4 actions for our topic, 4 actions. And we're going to create another one. Create new action. This one's going to be another flow. Okay, so this action type is flow. And the reference action on this one is create experience session booking. Okay, create experience session booking. All right, so that's all we're doing on this one. Again, the new action type is a flow, create experience session booking, and we shall go to next. All right, and now it populated a lot of this in for us. We're going to go ahead and unselect the show loading text for this action. The required input is contact ID. We're going to click required. For the next field here for guests, we are going to click on required input and collect data from the user. Okay, because it's going to ask us, how many guests would you like to make the booking for? That is going to be where it's actually going to ask us that question. Okay. Coming down for session ID, we're going to come down to session ID and require input. Okay. Just require input on that one. And then for our, let's see, our outputs, our booking output, we're going to show in conversation. And our output message, we're going to show in conversation as well. Okay, so review. Everything is populated in for us. Unselect that show loading text. Come down to the first contact ID, require input. Come down to the instructions. This is going to be an instruction, and it's going to ask us, well, it is required input, but we also want to click on collect data from the user. How many number, asking how many guests we'd like the booking to be for. 10 people, 2 people. What are we doing? And then the session ID is the required input. In the output for both the booking and for the output message, both of them are show in conversation. Show in conversation. All right, we shall click on finish. All right. Are you ready to test it? Woohoo! This is the real deal. We've got 5 actions over here. And we want to go ahead and upper right. We're going to test it. We're going to activate it. Okay, we're going to activate it. It is now activated. Let's refresh our screen. Wait a minute. We activated it. Should be. I always hate when it does that, when it says, oh, you might lose your information. Always makes me a little concerned. Oh, let's check to make sure our actions are there. After refreshing. Yeah, mine are there. Woo! That always worries me when it says, are you sure you're going to lose everything? No, I don't want to lose my stuff. Okay, anyway, we're good. So let's test this out. Let's test the agent. In the upper right on your panel on the right, we have our agent. He should be ready. So we're going to go ahead and refresh him a little bit here. So a new session has started. Okay. And let's copy. Now the prompts to interact with our agent are here. And so we're going to go ahead and say, can you let me know about the full moon beach party experience? That sounds like fun. So let's copy that. And we'll put this in our a prompt for chatting with the agent. And so it has now taken it in. It's coming down. And it should ask us who we are and our membership number. Okay, so it's telling us about the beach party. Okay, so just in general, it's telling us about this. All right, so the next prompt is, and of course, you can see the actions that it uses here in the center. You can see the reasoning that it's grounded. Okay, so we've grounded the response accurately, summarizes the details of the moon beach party, the agent's response, and that's what we're seeing here. Okay, so this is working as it should, as it should. All right, the next prompt is I am Sophie. Next, we're giving it an email and a membership ID. Okay, so we are giving it the I am Sophia Rodriguez at example.com, and my membership number is, so we're going to send this in. Okay, so we'll let this in. Hi, Sophia, how can we assist you further? All right. So now it's, really talking to us. It's really talking to us more. And it's interacting with us. Okay. So it is satisfied at this point. Let's see what else we have going on. Oh yeah, we're nearing completion of this. So we know that it is working with us, interacting with us. It found our information. Hi, Sophia. It brought our information there. And you can play with this further. I would prompt it and ask different questions. But this is really in the category of, just really testing it and seeing how it's going to work. It is active. Okay, it is active. So we want to go ahead and publish this and update this. So in the, we're going to go back. We're going to stop here for right now. We're going to go back to setup, which we are in setup here already, but let's refresh this page. It's been just a little bit since we were out here. So you're in setup. If you aren't there, you can click on home and then click on setup once again. It's going to bring you to this location. So we're going to publish and update the web deployment and update the flow. So we're going to come over here and we're going to select in the quick find, or I should say type embedded service deployments. Embedded service deployments. Okay. Locate embedded service deployments. And once we're in here, we're going to look for ESA web deployment. There it is. Boom. Okay, so we're going to click on this. And in here, we want to publish it, okay, with the latest additions. Okay, so we want to click on publish. Come on, you can do it. Publish. Did mine update? No. All right, this should be, there you go. We're publishing, can take up to 10 minutes. Okay. So in the meantime, we're going to go make some other changes here in a flow. So this is happening for the time being. That's okay. That's going to run and update, may take about 10 minutes. In the meantime, I want you to search. Let's go back into setup on another tab if we want to come back and check on this. And we're going to go to flows. Okay, we're going to go to flows. Over here to flows. Okay, flows. So these are all the flows, and we should be able to see some of those flows we were choosing in our actions. Okay, so we had one of them was a get experience details. Remember that? And get customer details. So remember those that we used in our actions. They're here. These are in our flows. All right, so the one that we're after is route to ESA. Route to ESA. There we go. Route to ESA. Click on that. Okay. And this is going to open up for us. And we're going to see that we have flow, the flow label. Let me see. We're going to, come on. It's loading. Okay, yeah, this is loading. So we're going to come in here and edit this flow. Okay, we're going to edit this flow. So to do that, we need to edit one of this element here, route to ESA. We're probably going to have to deactivate it because it is active. So upper right, let's deactivate this. They did not say that, but we're going to deactivate it so that we can make changes to it. Otherwise, you could not. All right, so we're going to come in here and click on the route to ESA component, and we're going to come down to edit element. Okay, edit element. So it's the little guy with the little rowdy doos. Those are official names. Rowdy doos. Those are rowdy doos. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. That's not their name. Anyway, so we have here input values. In the input value section, okay, we've got to modify these. The route to, we find the route to, see the route to needs to be routed to through the drop down instead of enhanced bot. We don't want a bot. Bot is old school. We want it to route to Agentforce service agent. Agentforce service agent. That's the agent we've created, folks. Right? Okay. That's the agent we created. All right. So you're in the route to ESA, external service agent, and we are now telling it to route to the Agentforce service agent. And where we see the box for the Agentforce service agent, you're going to click in that box, and there is your CC service agent for Coral Cloud. So if you remember, we had, that's what we named it. That's what we named it. All right. That's all we're doing here. So welcome to Flow. This is Flows. If you've not seen this before, we just modified the routing portion. And so we're routing it to our service agent. Okay. So we want to save as a new version at the top. Save as a new version. And everything looks good there. Let's see. We aren't going to do anything but save. Okay. And once it has saved, then we're going to activate it in the upper right. Activate. Okay. All right. And now this flow is active. We're pointing it to our service agent. And in the upper left, we're going to click the back arrow. Okay. Upper left, click the back arrow. All right. So we updated that flow. That's important. We updated that flow. Now, the next part is we're going to go to our website, the Coral Cloud website again. And we need to add the Agentforce agent to the Coral Cloud site. Okay, we have an agent ready, but it's not been added to our website yet. So this is a process where we're going to come up here in the upper left, or I'm sorry, in the quick find, and we're going to type in all sites. We did this before already. We published our site, right? All sites. And we're going to click Builder next to Coral Cloud. And we're going to see a components widget. This little lightning bolt up here, the lightning bolt is the a widget for the components. So we're going to click on that. And under the components, there's going to be embedded messaging. Embedded, you could search for it too. Search for embedded. There it is. Under support, embedded messaging. Okay, embedded messaging. right, did it open? Come on. Oh, I know why. We're supposed to drag it. Whoops. All right, let's see. We have book and experience of a lifetime. Okay, so see this here? Clicking it doesn't work. I'm getting with the program. Book and experience of a lifetime. We want to drag this embedded messaging over on top of the book and experience of a lifetime and release. All right, it should. Okay, add our window at the top. Okay, good. It should now have, look, there is our communication there, our chat, our agent communication icon. All right, so let's see. Everything is good here. We don't need to change anything there. Leave the default settings. All right, click on publish, upper right. Click on publish here. You're going to get a got it. Got it. Okay. And now we're going to ready to go test it. So let's come up here in the upper left. And we're going to come down to view Coral Cloud. Now we're going to view it like we're a customer. Okay. And so this should populate as the website. And it may still be updating a little bit. We can give it some time. There we go. All right. Mine came right up. All right. And now we want to, it should bring in the image. There you go. The image is coming too. Okay. So now we want to come down to our messaging icon down here on the right. All right. So click on the communication with our agent. All right. There's our chat. And I'm going to say, notice it says CC service agent has joined. Yeah, baby. All right, so it's working. Can you let me know about, so in our notes here, you'll see the, what we're going to ask it. Can you let me know about the underground cave exploration? Okay, so let's go ahead and paste that in for our communication and send it. And then also as a reminder, we can put, there's the information. Okay, so it's telling us our information here. And then we're going to go ahead and tell them who we are. Okay. And then it's going to prompt us, hi, would you like to check the available sessions? If so, provide a date. All right, let's choose a date for next week. So we'll add a date for, I'm teaching next week, so I won't be able to do next week. So I'll go for the 22nd. Let's try that. Okay, so I'm going to do 06/22/2025. So this is working. There's one available session. Yay. Would you like to book this? Yes. If so, please the number of guests. We'll take 6 people. Okay, you're booking this. Is there anything I can help you with? Not at this time. No, thank you. All right, so it booked. And we are done with the agent there. So we should be able to see that did in fact schedule in. And I don't think that is, let's see if it's going to show on the 22nd here. I don't think I'm logged in as Sophia on this, so I don't know if it's going to have it here or not. It would be interesting if it did, because I don't think I'm logged in as Sophia. But at any rate, let's go back to our instructions. We can play around with that afterwards. Now we can come down here and say verify. Okay, verify. So this is important. when you have completed it. Don't stop there. You must verify to earn confirmation. Click on verify to earn 100 points. Okay, so it is going out there. It is checking your Salesforce org right now to verify that you completed the tasks. You will see this in the other challenge. Is not enable the default agent. Oh, wow, that's interesting because we didn't even use that one. Okay, so this is great because this is telling us what needs to be done. It's checking the enable the Agentforce agent, and we used a service agent. Okay, so that's easy to do. That's easy to do. You are not stuck. Let's go. We can leave this open. Let's go back to agents here, agents, and go to Agentforce agents, Agentforce agents. And what they're saying is the Coral Cloud Experience Agent, Agent Service Agent. Let's see. This one we know is active. Let's see if these guys are all active. We can test them. Let's go into each one of them and see if the agent is active. Where did I just go? Come back here. So we'll open in Builder. Okay, open in Builder. Yeah, look. The Coral Cloud agent is not activated. Let's activate it. Okay, number one. Let's go back to, yeah, you can leave. We can go back to the next agent. We're just going to activate all the agents. Coral Cloud Experience Agent. Open in Builder. I may have to go back. Yeah, activate this one. Let's check each of these. That was a V1 on that one. I want to make sure, because we created a service agent. The one it's looking for is actually an Agentforce agent, which is interesting because that's the new, okay, they're all active. All right. So once we came in here with the agents, and you could go into each one to make sure it's activated. Now let's try it again because these, I mean, we already have Agentforce on, but this is where we needed to make sure that each of these guys are active. All right, now let's check our work again. And it should work. I don't know, there's no other agents listed. But it's checking our Salesforce org. And if this does not work, yeah. Enable the Agentforce default agent. We don't even have an Agentforce default agent. Not enabled in your org. Well, our default agent is not here. Ah, I see it now. I see it now. Enable the Agentforce default agent. Okay. We never used it though. We never used it. Okay. So this needs to be toggled on. I don't recall seeing that in the instructions. I'll double check. But at any rate, that's what it's looking for. And then I'm thinking, I don't know. Let's try to have it check it. Again. I don't recall seeing that instruction, but hey, it wouldn't be the first time I missed one. I know that we use it in our other orgs. That's the one we use, actually. But in here, we're doing a service agent, so a little different. Still, it's cool to see how to create an agent. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Yay! Accomplished. Okay. So you should have achieved this, but you have not completed the complete challenge because So if we go back to Agentblazer Champion and you have to come back in and do all of these. Okay. And that's a lot of terminology. On the prompt builder basics, remember we saw introduction to Agentforce Builder. You might want to do the some of these activities. You can do them because you've got an account, but it's not going to check it. The only one that checks your work is that last one. Okay. And we did the hands-on keyboard for that. All of these others are going to be like study, observe, learn, take a quiz. Okay. So you can go through these processes and nail this. The harder part of doing the actual challenge at the end is done. You have completed this, at least this one. And then we have another connect data cloud to Agentforce and prompt builder. So this one's the data cloud one. Okay, so this is going to be another one. I might do a one-off recording of this for those of you that want to see how this one is. But this is a wrap for the study group. We did achieve our goal of the creating an agent. So you did do that one. Okay. And again, this one is going to be the next one for Data Cloud and Prompt Builder. So I'll do a one-off on this because I know the next study group is in 2 weeks and it's going to be harder to bring that in for that next study group. I'm actually teaching, so I won't be able to do it anyway. But I'll do a recording on this and put it out there and keep you moving. So you are a good portion of the way. In the meantime, go do all of this self-study. Knock that out. That's your homework. Knock that out. And then I will do a shout out when I'm doing Data Cloud to Agentforce. And that's not painful. That's not painful. Data Cloud, there again, you'll have your playground. And it probably is a different playground. But use these because it is going to check your work at the end, remember? So you're going to see it, checking your work. So again, I'll do a recording. So anyway, that's it for today. Nice work, folks. I hope you enjoyed the time together. And those of you watching on the recording, give a shout out. Let us know how you're doing on this. And we'll see you at the next study group. So thanks so much. Any questions or comments? All good? No comments? Everyone good for today? Then if you're talking, it's not coming through. It's maybe a second, maybe a microphone that's not selected for this platform.
Yeah, sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't have any questions or comments.
Okay. Interesting though, isn't it?
Yes.
Interesting to go through the process. Okay, very good. All right, folks, thank you so much. You have a great day, and I will see you again soon.